We'll have a nice hot cup of tea ready for you when you get back.
Hey, you got a bit of a leak. Let me take a look.
What do you mean? Where?
Christ! Hold still!
Got your bail out, Frank!
Hold still! I've got you. I've got you.
Frank, my bail out!
Stay with me. Let me take a look.
Get me to the air belt, Frank! Get me to the air belt!
This is too far. We'll never make it. You'll get bent.
Come on, Frank! Come on, Frank! Get me to the air belt!
Juice is too far.
She's got no bailout.
Bloody!
Stay calm. We're gonna buddy breathe. We're gonna buddy breathe, all right? Mask off.
Frank, don't do it. We're gonna lose you both.
Enjoyed the film.
Good.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
It's
it
a
was-
tough film to enjoy.
I mean, I was on the edge of my
Yeah.
seat, like feeling claustrophobic and not being able to breathe at points, but it was
Good.
it was a great
Right.
journey, and it was definitely very effective.
That's what we were going for.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
exactly what we were
Yeah,
going for.
I mean, I really felt that the physicality of the movie really affected me as an audience member
Yeah.
as I sat there. And
Well, that's the great
watched
thing
not
about
being
3D is it really draws people into that experience. It makes it much more experiential. You know, you're really there with the actors. You know.
Why was using 3D such an integral part of making this film?
I think it's the environment.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, I think it's the fact that it's a space that wraps around you. You know, there's the mystery of the unknown in the darkness, but you actually, you know, the cave environment surrounds you. Especially when you go underwater, you feel like every bubble is right there. So 3D puts you through the screen into the action, and you become a character in the movie subconsciously while you're watching it. And if you're buying the characters, you're buying their emotional reality. That's like the turbocharger that puts you right into the story.
Now, I know some of the technologies you used were some of the same that you used in Avatar, and you were working with different budgets. How did you implement that?
Slightly different budgets.
Yes.
Just a little bit.
Well, you know, I mean,
Well, they're literally the same cameras
Literally
that Jim used. We just took his cameras into really difficult environments, you know, underwater, into caves, extreme heat and extreme temperature, you know, and we threw them around. I shouldn't be saying this in front of him.
first I heard of
He
this.
said, yeah.
You threw around my camera?
You saw the production stills. We really tested the technology, you know, in a new way, which is really exciting.
And how was it for you transitioning from working on film to suddenly HD, and then from HD to 3D, and with the physical constraints you guys had of making the film?
It was a huge challenge, there's no doubt about it. But from my point of view, you know, directing is the same job. You turn up every day and do what you do. The 3D really wasn't a problem at all with us. The biggest problem, as you can see from the pictures, is water and light. You know, there's no light and there's a lot of water. So you know, managing those things become the main part of your headspace day to day.
And safety and training for the actors and things like that. You know, I mean, it was Jules, the director of photography's issue to make the transition from film to HD and in HD, shooting in 3D. But I think from a director's standpoint, it's relative. That part of it's transparent. I mean, Alister had his hands full with all the logistics of moving tons of water around the set and keeping the actors safe and getting good performances in the middle of all that.
Yeah. And I know this is based on a real-life experience that actually happened to you. Can you tell us a little bit about what inspired making this film?
Well, the inspiration for the film came from my real-life adventure where I got trapped in a cave collapse, 15 of us below ground for just on 2 days. And so, you know, taking that experience and then crafting a fictional story so we could then, you know, draw on even more, you know, real-life cave diving experiences, we were able to craft this film which, you know, leaves you breathless.
Wow. And what would you say that this film is universally about?
Well, you know, every film, no matter what it appears to be about, has to be about some kind of a relationship that everybody can relate to. So I think you've got a couple things. The primary one is the father-son relationship, and I think, you know, men will certainly be able to relate to this because you're, you know, a father or a son, or you've gone through these kind of dynamics. And you know, I think that the other thing we've got going on psychologically is the group dynamic. You know, how do groups work together to survive? How are they torn apart? How does one person betray the rest of the group? through their cowardice, how does a strong person sacrifice, maybe for the good of the group, you know, and we all have to deal with that kind of in one manner or another in our lives.
I know that you're a avid scuba diver and that you have a love for the sea. What fascinates you or attracts you to aquatic
I don't
life?
know. I just love being underwater. You know, I've been a diver since I was 16. That's going back several decades now.
Yeah.
And I've spent thousands of hours underwater, and I love it. I love the environment. I love the feeling. I love the feeling of floating, of being free underwater. I like the challenge of it because it is a challenging environment. So I think I like that personal challenge to be able to dive, but dive safely and get back to tell the story.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, thank you guys for such a wonderful film. We really enjoyed watching it.
great.
Well,
Enjoyed
thank
it.
you very much.
Really nice.